Kentucky Bigfoot. Now, folks, go like and subscribe to Tennessee Bigfoot's channel because I'm a city boy.
Yeah.
I don't know
Tell them.
how to. I don't know what a 16th inch is. I don't know how to change the oil on my car. All right, I'm not much of a manly man, but he is.
I don't know about that.
And that rubs off on me, and I don't feel like such a sissy when I go check out his channel. And I know that I'm kind of like a little weak, not just on the side of technology, folks, but on like knowing how to like gut a deer or actually catch a fish, like putting the worm on a hook. No, I can't do that. But if I was with Tennessee Bigfoot guy here, then he could certainly help me to watch him do it. He could teach me how not to puke while he's doing manly shit over here. We need guys like that. I can admit it. All right, I'm a city boy. I think I've been camping 5 times in my life. It rained 2 of them, and I bitched the whole time. Nah, see, you're not supposed to be sleeping in about. It's like me. You don't understand much about tools and fixing shit. Being a real man, then the stuff wouldn't need to be duct taped in the first place. I watched the video of this man and his friends, and they were just all out talking about stuff that real men should know. Oil changes, fixing the plumbing, and electrical wiring. To me, it sounded all like certain alien language from fucking planet I have not a clue. And I just got the biggest kick out of knowing that when it comes to really surviving, really, in this world, and not knowing how to change oil and do an oil change, it's just funny. And I know I do not get manicures, and I'm not going to say I'm not.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Discovering Bigfoot podcast. I'm your host, Kyle, and today we have Jim and Matt out, and you're in Tennessee, correct?
Great.
Awesome. So tell me about yourselves. What's going on with you guys out there?
Okay, well, first of all, the way you found me was the fact that I was on Facebook and somebody was saying there's no such thing as Bigfoot. And I made an offer, and I said, if you guys want to come out, I'll take you to a place where I can set you up and you'll be comfortable for the night. And I promise you, by the time you get out of the woods, if you get out of the woods, you'll never say there's no Bigfoot. And so that's, let's just say that's how you got contacted me and said, hey, you sent me a message saying, really? And so that's why we're here. Anyway, we're in Tennessee. This is my son, Pat. And we're not Bigfoot hunters. We're just basically have Bigfoot problems, I guess you would say, over the last few years. We have 3 experiences, and I know most people watching this stuff want to hear about the Bigfoot, so we're going to go straight to it. My very first experience was probably 2010, and I went up to Angel Falls, Big South Fork. I was supposed to meet a friend out there. It's backwoods camping, and he wasn't out there, or he didn't make it out that night. Went out, fell asleep, middle of the night. I was laying on the ground in one of those single tents, and something shook the holy crap out of my tent. I came through, and I felt something was shaking my tent. It's like really freaking angry, like you take a Walmart trash bag and shake it, mad, angry. It was like that. And I came through, and I thought, what in the world? Bear? It stopped. My heart came up. I started breathing. I thought, hold on to your breath. Don't die. Don't have a heart attack. And I thought, I made a prayer to God. I said, God, I don't know what it was. I don't know what it is. If it's a bear, if I never heard it walk off, it was a complete silent night, completely quiet. Never heard anything from that point, from the time it shook the hell out of my tent. And I made a prayer and I said, God, if it's going to kill me, let it get me by the neck, because I don't want it chewing me and dragging me off. And that was a prayer, and I went back to sleep. And so that was my first time in my whole entire life that I've had any experience with anything in the woods. I'm from Georgia. I've hunted. I'm ex-military. I've traveled and lived all over the world and lived all in the woods and never, ever had any instance. That was instant 1. And then 2015, we prospect for gold, and we're down at Coker Creek, Tennessee, doing our prospecting. And we've been on Hammers Campground, and they have a creek that runs through it. And we've been there about the 6th night. And about the 6th night, we had this herd of loud beats. If you just boom, 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 boom. Like I said, I'm condensing these. He can tell some of the detail. He's got a lot more details than I do. So this boom, 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 boom. It's like they was pounding feet, and it was a herd, and I was in a tent. He was in a metal camp beside me. And this thing, I heard him coming, and I'm looking at the tent, and my heartbeat's coming up, And I'm thinking to myself, again, breathe, calm down. But I'm like, you're getting ready to die. This is a herd. It's like a herd of cows or bulls coming at us. Except for there was no growling, no snorting, no leaves, no tree breaks, no limbs. But these things were coming. And we figured they were probably 5 or 10.
About 5 or 10. But the reason why is because I heard a couple steps on the other side going.
He's got ears that are like, he can hear. Like, if he walks by your car and you got an ear leak, he can hear it. So he's got the ears. So he's got a lot of the details that I didn't get.
So that's why I think there's about 10 or 15 of them. Because I heard it on the other side of the creek, and then the herd came. Right. It sounded like 10 or 15 of them.
Right.
Like, okay, that's messed up. Right. They're all coming this way.
So let me try to cover the whole story. Condense it here. And so this herd was coming. It was getting louder and louder. My heart was beating. I'm sitting there and I'm looking at my tent. I'm watching and I'm watching it and watching it. And it's like it was like boom, 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 like drums. I mean, and fear. That was really high fear. It was really high fear moment, and it went through us. Now he's in a little mobile camper beside me. It's a little pull behind camper. It's like one of the little teardrops or whatever. It's got 2 side windows, and he's looking at both windows. Never saw a single thing. So this herd went through us, and then there was these dogs that were hounds that were chasing these things. We'd heard them throughout the week, way up in the ridge, but we hadn't experienced what they were chasing until that night. And then they were chasing these hounds. I mean, the hounds were chasing them, and they were running up and down the creek, and you could hear the hounds sloshing. And we were 15 foot from the creek. We've been prospecting that creek all week long, and the water was up 2 or 3 foot, up to your knees or so. And the big moment to me was after the herd. There were a whole lot of episodes of stuff going on, but I'll tell you that I hear this toosh, toosh, toosh coming up the creek, and it was clearing that creek, and I was just blown away. This was bipedal. This was 2 foot. In my life, I always thought Bigfoot was up in Washington. I never thought he'd be down in Tennessee, not down in Coker Creek. Never. It blew my mind. And so it comes toosh, 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 and it runs. It just smooth and goes past us. And that's the first time we spoke, because at that moment, I needed confirmation. And so I said out the window, "You heard that?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "What about the herd?" And I said,
"You said, was that 2 feet?" Was the very first thing you said was that 2 feet? That's what got me off guard. I was like, "Did you heard the Bigfoot?
Did you hear the herd?
Did you heard the herd? Did you heard what it was across the bank?" He's like, "I don't care. Was that 2 feet?" I was like, "Yes, that was 2 dang feet."
So we were super stoked because it run past us, and it was doosh, 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 and it was clearing water up to your knees like it was nothing. It was amazing. And like I said, there's a whole bunch of details to that story. I don't think I want to get into all the details of Bigfoot kicked on the dog, or heard the dog goes boop, and we heard it one time. He picked the dog up, covered its mouth, transported the dog to get the other. There was this whole bunch of stuff that went on. There's a whole story behind it. Matt had to tell a whole detailed story. There's a camper. There's an Airbnb cabin right beside us. That morning I went up there, and they're like, "What the hell was that last night?" They came out that night with guns too. They were like, "We didn't have any come out with guns," but they'd come out with guns because they couldn't figure it out because they were running up and down that creek. So anyway, that's Coker Creek, Tennessee, in a nutshell. Yeah. And then, so we're over this 2015. Me and him were back in the woods. We're doing our thing. We're cool. We've got over this Bigfoot thing. We really never were scared of any of this crap. And then me and my wife were driving through Kentucky about a year ago. 2015. This last July is when we actually run into the big party in Kentucky that we wouldn't.
July 5th of 2021.
So me and her have been traveling through, and I was like, this looks like a really good squatchy place. So I'm gonna put some trail cams out. I didn't know that Bigfoot didn't like trail cams. And if anybody doesn't know that, I'm sure they'll figure out like we did the hard way. So we had put trail cams out, me and him. And I remember me and you, we split down this one creek point. And you went that way. And when I went down there, the whole time I had that thing on my back that something was watching me. That ookie dookie feeling. But I wasn't thinking nothing about no Bigfoot. We had no people. At that time, I believe we believe like most people that Bigfoot is just a big dumb dude.
Just monkey in the woods.
But they're a lot smarter than people believe. We figured that out. And so, I mean, we had put that trail cam out, and I was a little getting back to meet with you. I was a little apprehensive, and I don't get
Me
that
too.
way. It was like something was wrong, and so we went up, on this back trail. We're in Kentucky. We're on the Kentucky side where this happened. We're right on the border. The Tennessee road that goes through the Tennessee side closed because they had so many problems with people getting in trouble that side. It's a dirt road. There was one story of a guy that they won't let him out of the car for 2 or 3 days.
3 days.
3 days.
It was a 3-day drive, 3-day camping drive, to enjoy the time and then go through. Took him 3 extra days to get out because that thing won't let him out of his vehicle for 3 days. And he's still today, from what we heard last, was he ain't gonna say if it was a bear. He ain't gonna say it was any type of creature. He just telling him
Just wouldn't let him out of the strip.
just something, so not let him out.
Right. So we had found we set up for the night. We put our trail cams out. We got the squirt cube tent. We set that up. We cleaned some rocks. We had steaks. Went to bed. Everything's cool. Had a good evening. That morning or that night, sometime I got up to go out. This was a new moon, dark like I ain't ever seen, and quiet like I ain't ever heard. My ears were hurting from the quietness. I've never had my ears hurt because they're so quiet. And anyway, I went out to take a wee, and I walked out to where we had a little fire, and I had the ookie on my back. I was weeing on the rock, and I turned around, kind of didn't really want to turn around, but I was like, I'm turning around because I got that wiki dicky on my back of the thing, and there was a knife that I had in the military, and it was in a pan. I picked it up, and it had, I was admiring it. Wait, it shapes your hand, and I remember doing this kind of like towards the woods, like don't mess with it. So between the trail cams and that, I might have been both, and I didn't mean to.
And us eating steaks that night.
Yeah, eating steaks, and I'm out there with a knife, and I'm like, I do remember, and like, the people talk about mind speak. I didn't have no mind speak, but in my mind, I did speak. I said, don't mess with us. And so I was showing off the night, looking at the darkness. It was so pitch dark. He was up in the tent. I set the knife down, and I'm walking back, and I've got an LED light, and it's red, and I see the red eyes. I see some eye shines, and I know it's not an eye glow because I turn my head like this, look at it left and right, and through the bushes, you could see it was behind the bushes because if you turn around and go like this, they'll light up and turn off and on as you turn the light to it. So it was eye shine. It wasn't eye glow, and they were red, but they seemed close together to me. I considered it possible or something. Now we have trail cams up there, and we call mountain lions and that thing out there. And bear, we didn't really know what's going on. So I go back in the bed, climb in, and I'm joking with him. And he had a bad feeling when I got out. He said that he just felt that something was out there. You heard something. So you were freaked out. I went out.
You heard something, and you went, no, I didn't hear nothing.
Then I got out.
And then you went out. Yeah. You're like,
So
you
you were
started to go
feeling-
pee, Oh, sorry. Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, you were already heard
I
something.
had earplugs in, so I thought I heard some trombone going on up there, or something like that. Then I heard him move around in bed, and then he got up. And then I was like, you heard it? You heard something?
Right. So he was already freaked out that I was moving. Actually, I was a little freaked when I got up for some reason. I don't know why, but I just kind of shook it off.
Yeah.
I had the heebie. And so I come in, got back in. I don't know, it seemed like 5 or 10 minutes.
That's weird. That's enough to get us.
And then, so I'll wait till the sound of this trees or tree above us just angry, just kind of like the Angel Falls with the bag. It was just angry. And so I said, "Man, what's that?" And
Sounds like that's not you moving around your bed with earplugs in. I'm kind of like, I don't want to know what this is real about. You better be moving in your bed.
So I asked him, I said, "So what's this?" I said, "What's that?" And you said,
Oh shit, not you. Okay. Listening to it. Take your earplugs out. This is how long it's taking,
He tells me to take my earplugs out, and I tell him I
It's
don't want to.
still going
I'm like,
on.
I don't want to.
I even said, it's still going
I don't
on.
want to hear this guy. I'm totally out of horror movies. I don't like being. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want nothing to do with that crap. I've never in my life, ex-military, I've been through a lot of shit. And being in a horror movie, no, that's not, I didn't sign up for a damn horror movie. We're in a horror movie. And so we're like, okay, so this thing, we're just staring at each other.
It was shaking so
What are you,
hard,
what
it
is
was
going
knocking.
on? And it's, yeah, it's almost like it was knocking.
No, it
on the
was
tree.
knocking.
Do you
I
remember?
remember it was knocking because
That's
at
what I'm
first it's how
I
from
block
what
a
I
lot.
remember.
I block a lot of stuff out because this stuff you block out because you got to deal with it.
Yeah.
So you block out even stuff like that. I block it out. I blocked a lot of stuff out there.
I understand.
And so he was like, so as it was shaking, it come to a stop. I'm gonna do the summary review, and he'll do the fine details. It came to a stop, and I'm like, realize I'm gonna have a heart attack, man. You gotta stop. Man. This thing's, and I realized you're so pumped up with adrenaline that and you're not moving. You're gonna kill yourself because you're like, I want to run, I want to fight, and I can't move. I can't move. I'm frozen. And this thing never made a noise. After it stopped shaking, there's not a single noise. There's not a pine cone, a pine.
That's all we heard. That's all we heard was pine little fucking needles. Just
You can hear
the
them falling.
needles.
That's it. Your ears so
You don't
attentive
hear
to
nothing
this
flying
thing.
down.
Right.
Nothing walking. Nothing doing. Nothing. Just
And so I'm in intense fear, and I'm sitting here going, how do we get out of here? Here I'm. This is my son. He's 25. He's a grown man, but I'm 56. I'm military. I got to get us out of this mess. I got to see it. I feel really bad. I brought my son into this crap again. I already did it once. Now I did it again. So I'm really feeling bad. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. I've been camping my entire life in the woods. There's more stories I've got him into, and he'll tell you, man. It's horrifying to bring your family into a mess like that. And so he was like, as I'm like thinking, I've got to, in my mind, I'm trying as fast as I can. How can we get out of here and go back to back? He'll have the gun. I'll put him on the back. I'll take the flashlight. I had the flashlight in my hand. I was holding it just like I was going to like I was going to work this sucker. That's all I had was a gun. I had a knife or nothing. The knife was out of the thing. All I had was this.
He left it. The thing picked it up and set it back down.
That's a long story. We get to that thing. That part. But so as I'm going through all these thoughts, I'm like, dude, you can't move. They're getting ready to jump on this tent. They're getting ready to pound this man. And I can't tell him nothing. I can't say we're not going to move. I can't tell him. We couldn't even breathe, talk at all. And so as I'm thinking, this is the worst of it. Then we hear this beep 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 beep. And at that time, I've already clocked out, dude. I done clocked out, and he's like telling me, "I'm on." He says it. He says it with his air, but I'm saying he says it's going past us. And I was like, I don't care, man. I'm done. I can't die in this situation.
Everybody's supposed to do something to the
But my
camp.
own body.
It's going to our camp.
Yeah, he was
supposed to
concerned
protect
because
our
this
camp.
thing. So now I'm like, what is this? An alien? I mean, first I'm thinking there's a Bigfoot, gorilla, monkey, whatever they are. I don't even know. Now I've got this thing going beep beep beep. It was like 4 digits. Beep 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 beep. Four times. Beep 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 beep. But it was almost digital.
Yeah, just like right like that. But digital crickety, kind of like cracky.
Yeah, and so we're
I
like,
can't make the numbers.
so now you're talking about freak. I was already freak past beyond freak. I was already in a horror movie, and I realized this is not a movie, Jim. This is real. You can't get out of this, And it was a horrifying situation, and we sat there, and we made it through the night.
I almost stopped my heart.
Yeah, you almost stopped your heart because he stopped breathing. He was like me. He was so afraid to breathe. I think it was his first real. I mean, I've had a couple really bad experiences, but that was far the worst I think I've been into. And he had to go through that hell. The Coca Creek thing was bad, but not like this.
Not like this.
And so anyway, we heard it go down, and we heard it pick up. We heard a little knife go ting. It picked the knife up and set it back down. There was a big old footprint. 14 inch, 15, 16 inches. They got deep in the ground where he stepped on one side, and you can't even find the other one.
Because there's rocks where we're sitting at, so he probably stepped on the rock.
He probably stepped so far, his foot reaches so
Or
big that
just
you wouldn't even
to a
see
rock,
the other.
too.
You can't find the other footprint. And so, I mean, I laid there, and I thought to myself, I'm going to, I can't let this thing kill me with fear. Because I've never been in a situation where I had so much adrenaline going that I knew that, you're going to die of a heart attack if you don't stop fearing. I had to stop fearing. And so he was like, this thing went by, I was going to do it, and I was freaking us out. I laid down, and then you were like, and then you go ahead and carry on about the part when this thing shows back up again, when something else happens.
Yeah. What happened is we're both like so quiet. He's like, I ain't gonna let this kill me. He went to sleep, and I don't blame him. I was like,
I didn't sleep, but I had
no,
my mind with me all
not
the
sleep.
time.
Yeah.
If I made one noise, like I'd wake up with him.
Yep.
I was so fucking on alert. I was ready to fight, man. I was like, we're going to fight. We're going to fight. They're going to be on our tent, and then am I going to have the energy? We're going to fight. I'm
Yeah,
going
we're
to
gonna
fight.
fight. Yeah, one of the trees was shaking. I already had my gun out in my hand, on my lap, sleeping like this, with sitting up. You know, I'm going freaking have to shoot this thing. It's this little gun,
The 22.
revolver. It's 22.
Just a squirrel gun for around here.
Yeah, that's what we bought.
Squirrel
It was for
snakes and
snakes.
stuff like that. It's our
Mainly
normal,
for
that's our
squirrels.
normal duty around here. We're going to live on the farm.
For
So
Bigfoot.
we have to kill. We have to shoot coyotes and all kinds of weird animals. But anyway,
Yeah, that's for the other gun. But, so we both laid down. The gun is in my lap. His light is in his lap or on his chest. And freaking hold on to their life. And then next we heard, Dad, you woke me up because you heard something. I don't know what you heard because I put my earplugs back in. I was like, I'm done with that last
I
one.
heard the boom.
Yeah, well, you heard something before the boom because then I took my earplugs out. Then I heard a boom.
Now, were these like, was it like a feeling you got too when you heard this boom, or was it just a sound?
You felt it
You felt it in the ground.
in the ground. We were laying on the ground.
We were
felt it
discussing
in the
it
ground.
today. We were discussing today up on the ridge, up on the mountain. We've always said it was like a rock about this big, and it felt like it went boom. But me and him was talking about it today, and we actually might think that it was it jumping off the cliff.
That cliff.
Boom! Because right after we heard the boom,
Right after.
about 7 steps off a mountain, he was there.
Oh,
This thing come in, right? Coming in, real slow, but yes.
And that's when I was about to pull the hammer back, pull the safety off. But before the last couple steps, I said, I'm about to fire this gun.
So you woke
In
me
a
up.
whisper
He woke me
again.
up because he didn't want to shoot over me asleep.
Yep.
And what did I say?
Said, go for it.
Yeah, go for it. I'll go back to sleep. I was waiting for a gunshot at any time. I slept the rest of that morning. I slept the rest of that night just waiting for a pow. I'm like, I hope you get him, buddy. 'Cause that's all we got.
That's all we got, you know. We ain't got nothing. I have a little knife on my hip. I got a little 22. If all else fails, I'm going to fight with my fist.
But I felt so bad because he's protecting me, you know. And then he can't. He's like, I remember him saying, "I'm going to."
Never
I'll
killed anything.
I'm, you know. So it was coming up. You heard where it was, and then you started to cock, and what happened?
Well, that last step, I put my thumb on the hammer, about to. I put pressure on it because if he took one more step, I would have made that clicking sound. And he just far distance, just enough so he does hear that I pull him a click back. And then if I hear him run, I'll pull it all the way back, safety off, you know. And if I didn't hear him run, he just stops right there. I'll leave that one click to one foot, one click to another foot. If he kept it up.
But he stopped.
He stopped.
He never came.
He never came. About like 30 minutes later, that's when we heard about a woodpecker.
Yeah, we made it through the night, unbelievably, because it's
That
daylight.
woodpecker,
The daylight was the daylight when the woodpecker shows up, and we're like, first of all, weren't you excited to find out that we made it through the night? Because I had no idea the daylight came. The daylight came, and I don't even know how it came on us, but it came on us.
We was dead.
We laid through a long night. That was the longest night of fear. And anyway, that woodpecker was raising hell. Raising. It escorted something out of the woods. How did 30
Branch.
minutes? Half an hour?
For 5 minutes, another branch further away, 5 minutes, another branch, just like branch to a branch to a branch, walking it out, whatever it was.
It was like falling or
all the way
reporting.
around the bridge till we could barely even hear it faintly. He's still going off over there. Got our breakfast done. Still going off, and he's gone.
That's crazy. I want to talk
And so
about.
Then we had Tweety birds during the day. of
Tweety
that.
birds, yes.
Just little tiny Tweety birds. I was like, I love Tweety birds. They're good.
And so we came home, and my wife tell you we were white.
For 2 days.
2 days we were pale white.
Pale white.
We were pale white. And
I had to
could-
walk on eggshells
Well, I
around
was
them.
still in. People. I don't. I'm much military. I didn't know what trauma was. Well, trauma is when something happens to you and you're back at that nightmare. PTSD. PTSD. Or whatever. I didn't know what that was. We have that because I mean I ain't had it a long time. I did when I came back for about a week or two. I'd hear a little limb break or something outside, and I was in that tent.
Yeah,
And
automatic.
I'm like, oh, what am I doing back here?
Yeah.
I mean, that's post traumatic disease or whatever, PTSD or whatever it is.
Yeah, I was just outside smoking a cigarette. I heard a tick. I was like, nope. I'm not smoking. Went back inside.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
nope.
so we came home, and for about a week or so, we're like, what are we gonna do, man? We live in the woods.
That's
we-
my home.
We
Love the
fish,
tree.
hunt. We live in the woods, man. So we're like, we got to go. We got to go back up. And so we ended up going back up. This time we went up armed. We had guns. I should get to show you a picture of what it looked like between us. Now we did sleep in a tent. We didn't sleep
That
on
was-
that spot. We went up
we went to the
area.
camping spots.
But that night was strange. Man. We started learning and we started gifting and we started going through a process of healing, getting back in the woods. And, but still, when we go in the woods, we
Took
have
a full
so
year.
much ammo. We have so much you would not believe. We have swords now. We have spears. We have so much
Axes.
equipment. Yeah, you blow your way of our equipment. I need to
Yeah.
get it on video.
We need to take a picture of it.
Yeah. I mean, I've
We
got
got-
one. I
They're
call
on
it
the-
the skull crusher because it's just a mean.
Literally, he called it a skull crusher on camera. I was like, dude, that's what
It's
it is. Yeah.
I will
Skull
never go to-
buster. No, you said skull buster.
It's on one of those videos that we
Is
have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of them. But not including to all the new ones we built. We got spears and our
And
swords.
so now that happened last July, and here we are a year later, and we've spent a year investigating and learning, like most people do when they get a situation. We did all these gifting things. We've experienced. We've got, like a friend of mine down at Coker Creek. We go down to visit him to do some painting, and he's got Bigfoot problems. We were down there this summer.
Yeah.
And he's got, and I've got a video on Coker Creek. His property, all this, he's got arches and breaks, and they're doing stuff. They've got so much going on down there. That's one of my friends, and so we're trying to help him with his property. And now here on our property, we were talking before we started recording this thing. We have 10 or 15 burial mounds, and we have a 60-foot burial mounds, and we have ATV trails, and we have on Airbnb experience. We do Airbnb routes and stuff. We built an Airbnb experience where you can go and see these burial mounds. Well, what's happened is they've gotten mad at us. We didn't even know they were here, honestly. And they've done all kinds of major damage. The biggest, he showed me one yesterday, a break that was 20, 30 foot tall. The trees that big around, the biggest break I've ever seen. I mean, I thought the guys.
Well, they were laying big trees like that
Yeah, they're
size
laying
up
trees.
there.
Yeah,
in
yeah, they're
weird
using
ways.
trees.
They broke the head off of one, bring it to the base of it, and then broke it again and had it facing the other way. And making a big triangle.
Yeah. So they
Area.
dropped it all over right there. So we're kind of. I was just up there yesterday. I think there's a big 20-foot area where you see something sitting there, and it's all full of pine cone needles where they're eating the pine. And that's not a
It looks like
squirrel.
someone had a
squirrel.
chainsaw work up there. All that.
Yeah, it's all
shavings,
red.
It's
It's a
how much
20-foot
it was.
red circle where this dude. To me, I think the dude's got to be 20 foot, 20, 30 foot. Thick. The burial mound. We've got a 60-foot burial mound, so the 20-foot Bigfoot's not too big for a 60-foot burial mound. We've got videos on that, but so that's where we're at. We've done. We've been running through the mill, man. Last July was rough. Yeah, we've got it. Yeah, well, once you start following, once you start getting into Bigfoot, then you start running other creatures in the woods. and all that goes on.
Spiritual other
spiritual things.
Those is, I don't
We
really
don't
care
know.
for no more besides the
No.
Bigfoot now. I'm like, he's physical. The other ones, they're
Yeah,
just,
I took my wife on a little Sasquatching, so we go a little squatching with her down to Hot Springs, North Carolina, and wow, we had some major experiences there with her. That's another story where one of them, we're sitting on a campfire, one of them grabbed her by the boob, a ghost, right? So she's laughing, and she's like, "My boob is something put its hand on it," and I'm like, "What?" So I get sage and I put it on the fire, and then that night she's laying, we're sleeping in the camper. She's shivering. I'm telling you the condensed version. She's shivering. I'm like, what is wrong with her? And
It
so
was
I
in
turned,
February.
yeah, I turned this thing heat up and everything. But she was shivering. And as soon as I woke her up, she goes, "What? No, I'm fine." I'm like, "Well, you were just shivering. Your teeth are about to, you were, and you're like, "Oh, what? I'm fine." And then we go to sleep. And then I wake up. I didn't wake up. I was in a dream or whatever. And there was a head that came through the camper. And I kicked at it. And I dreamed it, but I'm actually in the camper. So did I dream it or not? That's like that place is covered up with like paranoia stuff, not paranormal stuff. I mean, not Bigfoot stuff, not related. But
Yeah, more.
but the thing is, that place is covered up with tridents. And the place that we go to up in Kentucky area, tridents. And that's how we come across there. The place we gift is not where they jumped us that night. The place we gift was we were hiking. We were hiking from Kentucky into Tennessee, and about a mile or so in, we noticed how some trees were on one ridge were pointing this way, and then the other ridge was pointing this way. And then we were looking at this like, what is going on here? It's like there's like a gravity.
Yeah.
And so as we were talking and investigating, we start finding tridents. As we walk up it, we start finding burial mounds, and there's 30, 40 burial mounds there, big rock burial mounds.
flat rocks up on flat rock.
They're 10 foot or 10, 15 foot, 20, and different things. So I mean, this was 15, 20. I got a whole video tape talking a bunch of that, but that is that's where we believe they really kind of hang out.
Hey, I got a quick question for you about the burial mounds. So where I'm from, up in New York, we have a lot of cattle farm area. So basically, back in like the 1800s, when they were making fields and stuff like that for the cattle, the Roman, they would make a pile of rocks and of bluestone and stuff like that. So there'd be one section on a property where you'd find barbed wire everywhere, and you'd find just piles and piles of rocks. And there's also a lot of very, very old rock walls that pretty much ran the property lines, or enclosed the cows in a certain field area. Could it be something like that?
Well, that's what we thought. But what's happening on this ridge up here is they're all the same altitude around it. They have a procession, which is where they walk.
A flat.
We have a friend of
Henry.
Dave Henry.
Dave Henry he's showed me a lot of stuff I wouldn't have seen. Really, really good guy as far as an eye on details. Holy crap! But anyway, they have this ridge. There's about 15 of them. They're all at the same altitude. They're all westbound, west facing. Because you'll find that the ridge in Kentucky, they're all east facing. It's kind of interesting because they do different things. Some people might know what tribes are like. But anyway, they're all the same altitude. They come around this mountain ridge. They're all west facing. They're all the same, and they're just piled rocks. And if you walk the mountain, you'll see there's no farms around it. People would be like, okay, let's carry rocks up to the mountain. No, this is on a mountain hill. It's on a hill. And it's there is farmland, over in this area. But you carry up and then make individual. About 10 or 15 piles that would be 20 foot.
Just student.
Oh yeah, we did have our student.
You did.
Staying on our Airbnb. She knew.
Yeah.
And what she said?
She says, "Ooh, I would love to come back because that does look very suspicious."
What here's what I like. It's landlocked, and we're one of the people that want the private properties. So we have deer, we have all kinds of, we have turkey, all that stuff. But the thing is, and so the federal government can't get into it. You're normally your game board thing going on public lands, but they, okay, cool.
So when you had your experiences and stuff, were you looking for footprints afterwards? Like, I know you heard that one boom and you felt it. Did you try to go over that area and look for them? And also, what's going on with tree breaks and stuff? Because I've seen your videos, and it seems like you got some interesting stuff going on with that. So can you elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, sure. On the footprints down to Copper Creek, we scoured the place, couldn't find anything. Did find the area where they had got into a little rustle with a dog and left some stuff there. So no footprints there, no broke limbs. That one was, to us, still like a ghost story. And that the Kentucky one, what happened when they were up in those trees making that noise, the next morning we figured it'd be a huge mess. The mess was not what we heard. We're like, we almost feel stupid from what I heard in my ears, because there's really not that big of a mess in the ground. Now he did find a 3-toe footprint, which totally blew us off. I'm like, well, do we have an ostrich out here last night?
Yeah.
Right. So
Damn owl.
we didn't know there's a such thing as 3-toe Bigfoot. But obviously, there's 3-toe Bigfoot, but it was a 3-toe. That's
3 toes.
So we found 3-toe.
And that 1 foot at the campsite.
Yeah, that 1 foot.
That's the main thing.
And we were totally not into plastering or doing all this stuff. We really didn't know anything about it. But that was a beautiful print because it was really deep. It was deep light. So that's a nice print. But we haven't found any footprints. I do have a video where I do have some bears, and I do have one that looks like there's holes in the mud. But no, we're not. No, not really. Most of the work and stuff we've done is we'll draw pictures and we'll put them out in the woods. We'll go out there in our gifting area, and if you look by a chance, look, we had a picture of a Bigfoot, and they folded it in half, kind of like a madman. Said no, he's shorter. They've done stuff like that. We've got in that area I was telling you where there's vortex stuff on my video cameras. On my video camera, in certain areas, I walk through it. There's magnetism problems, but you can kind of like communicate with. That's probably talking to spirits, who knows. But no, we haven't had no Bigfoot things. The breaks we have. We went on one time, and there's down that road that's 7 miles long, and they made breaks all the way down saying, do not go on this ridge. And I don't know if anybody pays much attention, but when they put a break on the road, pay attention. They will touch the leaves on the road like this. It's amazing. You'll know it's them because they will break a limb and they will set it so that it's just touching the road like that on the edge. And it's 7 miles. So they did it I got a video. We got the video. 7 miles they did that, which, so those guys have protected a lot of breaks. In that one, there's one where Matt's standing up in a small tree. It's about that big. Compared to what we got now.
We thought that was huge.
Yeah, we
I
thought
was
that was
standing
big.
up tall like that.
That's
it's about 8 foot tall.
And that's a pine tree. There's nothing on it. There was no snow, nothing. It's just rubber this year. Yeah, there's nothing on it. It just broke. That's that right there. We have the messes we have here. We have a lot of breaks up here. But like I said, a lot of our evidence was from taking them gifts. We had we've got stories about the owls that came in on us. One night they came in and 2 owls. They started off, but they came from 2 areas, from like 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock at us. And they came in really fast. And we were sitting there at our campsite. And I thought, I'm going to record them, because if you're out there recording, you won't hear nothing. If you get your recorders, they don't come. Yeah, that's that's a bad thing.
So
you can't record nothing.
to go to the truck to get the recorder.
Yeah, I thought, let me get the recorder. This is crazy. These owls are coming in, and I've looked up mating owls on YouTube, and yeah, they're crazy. This got worse than this. This was like
Coyote orangutans.
Yeah, they went really. And as they got closer, crazy. Right, I got to the door, and as soon as I touched the door, they went off.
The bullet, once you touch the door,
They
the handle.
and there were two of them coming out. But before I touched the door, I swear they were coyotes. I swear they turned it down. The coyotes in it, and I was like, I'm gone. I'm getting in the truck. And he was like, man, I thought they were excited because they got our gifts. And I'm like, dude, I did too, and he was stuck in that crazy. He was stuck in that movie state. They used. I don't know how you get stuck in a movie state when you're like, you're not believing what you're seeing and hearing. You don't move. You know, and it's very dangerous. I'm like, no, I'm not going to get in a trance again. You can't get in a trance. It's easy to get in a trance.
Yeah, it is. Don't decipher what you're gonna do. Just get up and do it.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, you'll get in trouble.
You'll get in trouble.
But yeah, that's so. I mean, we're not, as far as evidence, as far as fingerprint, you want to grab that? I mean, I'll show you a gift they gave us. Wait, oh, she's got it right here. She's bringing up my little tubby. Look at that.
That's a gift that
That's
we
a
got
gift
from
Bring it
the
forward.
big dude.
Right. We went out. I'll bring it forward. Yeah, we're never drinking because I'm not even sure what's in it.
That's unreal.
We showed up today.
We showed up. Right, it's unreal. Now the thing is, the labels, it never been wet, right? And the thing was, it had been raining the whole time we were gone. We'd been gone. It's about a week or two before we got back up. And so when we got up there that morning, I'm walking up and I see this little red thing, and I'm like, "What is up there?" In our gift in area where we left them a bunch of gifts, and this bottle's sitting there, right? And I couldn't believe it. And there's another thing is Maker's Mark. At the time, I had been studying how sickle cell people can't be cloned, which means they're actually the original people, which means that people with dark skin are probably the original people, And so then I get this confirmation, Maker's Mark. And I'm like, you're joking with me, right? Are you telling me that I'm on it? So anyway, that's kind of coincidental, or is it? I don't really know. That stuff's just systemic.
Yeah. That's how much we have in there.
We never drank it.
Whatever drink it is.
I mean, it
that's how much
smells
we
like
have.
whiskey.
We have all we did is smelt it. We never did anything else. That's all we've got. That's all. Someone drank that much or something like that. Bigfoot took it from campers down the road.
Yeah, we don't even talk about the campers.
It was.
We don't know. Stole it and gave it to us. Yeah, that's fine.
Hey, probably like, these guys don't need no more.
Yeah, we didn't drink. Well, they were trying to get us drunk. I don't know. Take advantage of us. Who knows, right?
We don't know.
We never drank it.
I think that's the first time I've ever heard of a Sasquatch gifting someone alcohol. That's
Right.
unreal. That's something I've never heard of. That's awesome.
Right. And like
So what else is going on with the gifting?
Yeah,
Do you guys leave just food, like just apples, or do you leave? I know you said that you draw pictures and stuff. What do they do with the pictures?
Okay, so here's Matt's favorite Bigfoot. He's got it in a Ziploc bag because it stinks.
It smells
It
like
smells like living water.
Yeah.
So we go out. This was left out one night, guys. One night. Look at the wear and tear on this paper. I don't know if you can see it. One night. It's been in a Ziploc bag ever since. She's got it. So it was out one night. Look at it. It looks like it's been through
The
a third.
sun's been folded out.
Well,
Chris.
Yeah, it looks like it's been through a third grader's backpack for the entire week. Anyway, that was left out one night, and they folded the sun out. And this is how, like I said, this is how we've kind of communicated with them. We've left it ever since. All we've done is put it in a Ziploc bag. We put that out that morning. We drew that night. We left that picture, and they folded that out. So you're like, what does that mean? They don't like the sun? That's what we take away from it. We had a picture of an owl that I'd put on up there they've got, like I said, 20, 30 burial mounds. If you come out and see the 20, 30 burial mounds, then you would have no question that no farmers would make 20, 30 piles of rock. They'd probably make 4 or 5. But I put an owl on a burial mound and 4 big giant rocks. And the next day it was gone. And they actually moved it way down and under some bushes. And it was crisp. Never folded. They just moved that one. And that was a picture of an owl. So I know they hunt with the owls. All the prairie birds, the owls, the ravens, they all hunt together. They started, the Bigfoot hunts with them, of course, and they mimic them, of course. But so I'm looking through my little gifting folder. See if there are any other gifts, but so I mean that's some of the gifts we've done. But we had there's a broken arrow.
That was the same day.
The broken arrow, what they do with the broken arrow, in the Indian language, broken arrow, that means peace.
He picked this up, though. That's the thing. This thing is the same looks, same dirty, muddy
Yeah, from
looking
one
thing.
night.
One night. It looks just like that one. Compared to a crisp paper.
This was, yeah. So that's one night. Here's one night. This was one night.
Each
You guys said no rain, no snow. Look at what they did to that.
One night.
Now we don't. Obviously, they don't like aliens.
Yeah, this one was the one that was floated up, the alien, and the Bigfoot's legs are chopped up on that one. So it's kind of like weird.
I wonder where you
You drew Bigfoot a picture of an alien. That's something I've also never heard.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it gives you an idea
We're
of
trying
what
to-
they think.
Yeah, we're trying to ask them questions.
That's what we're thinking.
And there's a picture I don't have it here, but it's a monkey and it folds. And I swear you'll be blown away because what folds the paper? Raccoons, what folds? We couldn't figure out what in the world will fold a piece of
We
paper.
don't got that. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I lost that.
Right.
Oh, I think it got blown down through all them weeds. We left it up there or something like that, and then got wet.
But what are the folds? Just what are they? 50, what else we give them? We always give them.
Yeah.
We give them
Fruit.
apples.
Yeah.
And
Chocolate, peanut
yeah,
butter.
chocolate, all kinds of stuff like that. We played stuff like that. We did the papers. We drew papers. We did a lot of stuff.
They like the snake.
Yeah,
And
we
it
did.
was just,
The only thing they left us was the snake cycle. Actually, I think the second time we
Old
came
snake's
back, we
gone.
found the snake.
But I can't. I'd have to look at the video. We've got almost I just put together. I took all my. It's like my greatest hits. It's got like over 30 shorts. I just went through and pulled up all of our cool looking clips of what we had, what they had done or what we had saw, and put that together. But we've definitely had plenty. There's definitely some unique things that goes on up there, and I try to, if anyone, I opened it up. I had not been able to get anybody to go with it. For some reason, I don't know why. Even Bigfoot people, I talked to them on websites, and you saw me. You saw what I told that one person. There was a skeptic on Facebook, and they're like, "Oh, they never had one. I don't believe it." And I said, "I'll take you out. Come on." And I have tried to get people to come, and nobody will go out in the woods with it. Nobody. And and I know where I think I know where they live. And I've actually been violated a little bit by it. So, and like I said, when we do go up there, we don't knock, we don't call, we don't videotape. We do patrol cams pointing inwards at us at night. We do have LEDs with a battery inside, that flash turn out from here. So we're not. I'm not calling. We're not calling. We're not like that. I mean, some people are. They do that kind of stuff, and either they got more ammo or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Real quick, let's go back to gifting. I want to talk about the apples. Do you guys get the apples taken, or do they leave them there half the time? Do they take them kind of here and there? And also, if they do take the apples, are they completely gone? Do you find them elsewhere?
I'm sorry.
breaking up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you guys find those apples to be taken randomly, or do they leave them elsewhere? Do you find them completely missing? What's going on with the apples?
Yeah, they take the apples. I leave here.
Sometimes I think oranges. We've got oranges. They never took the oranges.
But we have like down at Coca Creek, we done apples out for different places. We have the video of where they took the apples, and there was a seashell. We put a seashell with it. Put a lot of different things out, shiny things, what they like. And on that seashell, they put a little teeny rock,
Little pebble.
little pebble rock on top of that seashell, which is kind of why they do that for that. They kind of like took the apples and left us run. And then they're in the same, and also down there in Coca Creek, they took a rock, and I had a little game that you had a little ball, and they had moved it, and they moved it because the original picture is sitting there, and now it's sitting on top of the leaf. How did it get stuck on top of the leaf? Someone had to pick it up. So we see them picking up things. The apples they take, they've always took the apples. They never really good with the apples, but they kind of gave them peanuts.
squirrels probably got to them. We can tell whenever certain animals do get into the mix, but whenever it's like them Bigfoot things, maybe they're the ones that are actually taking the apples. Because the one down Coconut Creek on the thing hood, that's the vehicle. If you touched anywhere around it, stepped in a wrong spot, everything will fall off of that Jeep. Everything will fall off. It's just very finicky. Stood up by one board and two little legs, or one leg barely balanced. So for that thing to get moved and that couple apples thing to pick up,
it was impossible for most people's mind. It's impossible. There was bushes. There was a car between it and this thing, and if you could walk around and see, you would see. You can't even how they can come up and get things without you seeing them. And they came up. They're very close to us within an hour or two that we were sitting out there on the range and took out and moved things. So they're amazing. They're like little spider people. They can move. They can obviously.
That last gift that you put the wild apples on that hood, it took all of it.
I gave them a Y stick with some apples. I took it all and took the Y stick too. I'd have to go look through it. Like I said, I bet you we have stories about all the different things. A lot of our stuff was done at Coconut Creek. We're not doing any gifting here at the house because, we're not doing any gift here. It's a whole different situation when they're in your backyard. We've been here 25 years. We're not interested in making enemies with them. I'm not also interested in, we've got to work together. We were up there yesterday. We're actually clearing some of their breaks because they're actually, we know our ATVs came through the trail. So,
I mean, in the beginning, we were thinking maybe they're the forest protectors, but we've been getting to Jerry Williams or whatever his name is. He turned us on to. Well, they're also could be very demonic. They could be very mean.
Well,
they could be
right. You got dog man. You got a lot of creatures out there, and a lot of people call Bigfoot, like the media has made Bigfoot the innocent one here. And I'm not saying all Bigfoots are demonic. I'm saying some Bigfoots are good, and some are bad, just like anyone. I don't know, but I think there's a lot more creatures out in those woods running around that people are not aware of. They need to be aware of. They definitely be safe. But they take apples. Apples have been one of our favorite things. We've tried all kinds of experiments. We've tried sardine. We've got a list of tobacco. We've tried all kinds of stuff. I think apples has been our popular thing. Now, they like turkey feathers. They've given us some. I'm looking at it now, but they've given us turkey feathers. So turkey feathers is a good gift. Gifts for Bigfoot.
That's super cool. That's really cool. Well, unfortunately, we're coming to an end here. We're past the hour mark, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it off. But where can people reach you at? I'm assuming that you saying on Facebook that you want people to come out. Is that an official invite for anybody listening?
Yes. Yeah, anybody that wants to. Now, the location we go to is in Stearns, Kentucky, in that area. So anyone from Ohio or around the area, we'd be glad to take them out. And it's actually where we're going. It's free camping. It's you can bring your big camper. I don't care what you bring. Free camping. There's always plenty of room. We will go out and we will look at the areas. And I'm sure that most folks will come back to the camps. We don't stay out there where they're at night. There's individuals that want to do that. They can do that whenever they want to.
Personal tent, it's fine. They can do that. But we're on a personal camp spot across the creek, and that's where we're camping at. There's a special campsite that we camp at.
Yeah, and we've got a little YouTube channel we started, and
last year.
And I think we got 400 subscribers. I'd love to get more subscribers because I love to talk to people. I love to answer people's questions, and we love to grow and show people stuff and share stuff.
These
and like I said,
don't know what to do.
Yeah, we're really we'd be we'd love to take, and like I said, believe it or not, I'm trying to get more people out to the woods. I mean, actually, you can bring your family and stuff. I mean, the place we're going to in Kentucky, it's, there's plenty of families and stuff out there. We're just saying, I'm just telling you that, we will go out where we know where they like to be. And,
We'll hike out there. If they hike, I think I'm the camp.
right.
Awesome. Well, anybody out there trying to get a hold of you guys, just comment on their YouTube channel. Anybody trying to get a hold of me, my email is discoveringbigfootpodcast@gmail.com. Same goes for you guys. You want to reach out, you got my number now. I'd love to hear more from you guys. Tell me what's going on. Keep in touch. And we'll get you back on another time.
Okay. Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on the show.
All right. Thank you.
I'm just going to show you. This is my dentist office. I mean, my horse's dentist office.
Horses.
We got to make sure we. This is my horse's dentist office. We do everything, don't we, Matthew? To horses.
Yep.
I mean, we even do cavities. This right here.
Wow.
This is a light that you use for UV light.
Oh,
Everybody's memory. Good on. You will not see nothing on this show.
You vaccinate your horses for tetanus?
Yeah.
we do.
No.
Sounds good. We do.
Best dentist.